Hello, Ania here. Welcome to this video, Yoga for Emotional and Psychological Healing. You might have heard that yoga is good for physical healing, that it's great for correcting the back, for opening the hips, for improving digestion, lowering blood pressure. And it's more and more common for doctors to recommend to their patients to try yoga. We also know that the stress hormone creates so many problems, both on the physical and psychological level, and that yoga offers relaxation and calming of the mind, and therefore it's so important for our busy, so often overstressed life. However, the healing with yoga go far beyond this. As a craniosacral therapist and a yoga teacher of 20 years, I'm very familiar with these psychosomatic connections, that we reveal our emotions in our body postures, that we also store our physical and psychological trauma in our body, that there are psychosomatic illnesses, and basically we carry all our history in our body. How does it happen? In the moment of trauma, let's say during a car accident or any psychological distress, there is a body protection mechanism to minimize the impact and the experience of pain. At that moment, it is a very useful mechanism as it helps us to survive. However, when the danger goes, in our modern busy lives, we tend to just continue with our businesses, and very often we don't get a chance to release these tensions, to release this physiological response to the danger. When we look at the animal world, the animal which is chased by a predator, it activates the same physiological response to survive, to produce adrenaline, to run or freeze if it hopes to be not seen. But after the danger passes, when it feels safe again, what the animal do is literally it shakes itself off this tension, this physiological response, this stress hormones, and the impact of the sudden freeze. But that's what we don't do. We don't let the stress, the tension to be released, and we continue as usual, very often not aware that we carry those tension within, and we might not feel them, we might not be aware of them for long time, and that they impact our being on both physical and psychological level. But this experience has been stored in our body, and it can affect our body and our lives in a most unpredictable way. We might not feel the physical or physiological impact straight away, but it will show up at times. For example, why do I suddenly freeze in the situation which are not proportional to this response? Look at yourself. Can you notice that there are certain situations that you enter this fear zone? It could be when you enter the hospital, or you are at the spotlight, either because of a public speaking or social dancing, or there is someone really angry at you. Some of you can easily identify the situations when you are just entering this fear zone. And that's good because it shows certain level of self-reflection and self-awareness. However, many people are completely not aware of this and they live their lives avoiding certain situations. They don't want to come closer to this border of the safety zone, and this thing runs their lives. It might stop them not to go for a dream job or for happy relationship or simply enjoy life. So if you already realize that there's something which holds you back, that you feel your stomach tightening as you are coming closer to the border of the comfort zone, that's a great step forward. Now you need to shed some light on it. If you already know that there is a trauma or you have a memory of some traumatic experience, you might consider a help of professional. You might consider to go through it with a therapist. However, each of us went through some traumatic, painful experiences, and we all carry certain level of traumas in ourselves. And I don't mean everyone needs to have a therapist. What we need to have a certain level of resources, like a inner resources, certain sense of safety, that we don't go into this dark hole on our own and take a chance to being overwhelmed. And that's where also yoga is helpful. Yoga is a great way to build up these inner resources. So how do we heal our traumas with yoga? As I said, we all have some traumas stored in our bodies, even if it didn't manifest as a physical or psychological problem yet. And it becomes more and more obvious as we do yoga, as we enter certain poses, we become more aware of certain physical resistance or certain tensions which don't respond to stretches. And also they can come up some emotional response to it. So when we do yoga with the right awareness of the subtle sensations in the body, of the emotions which come up, we can actually localize the areas where the energy is stored, when the energy is blocked, and we simply need to bring some love and light to it. And I know it sounds so easy when I say like that, but of course it's not. It's a process. The key is that yoga is not just physical exercise, that with yoga we enter a very resourceful state of mind. And that's where the role of breath, the right focus and the visualization plays such an important part. And it's why what we require as beginners, the right guidance through your yoga practice. So it's not only about how we enter the poses, but who are we being in these poses. We normally live in a survival state of mind, that we are scanning for danger, switched on, ready to run. But if we run on these stress hormones, that's not the time to look at our wounds. But in yoga, we learn how to shift our awareness from the surrounding, from the danger inside, interiorize, to find the spaciousness within. We learn how to enter the meditative state of mind, where we enter the parasympathetic nervous system, rest, digest and heal, very holistic way of being. in this state of being, we have so many resources, and we can see these childhood memories, these old traumas for what it was. And we can see that there is no more danger anymore, that we don't need to protect ourselves constantly, that we can let go of all of these things which don't serve us anymore. Of course, it's a process and it can take some time. It might feel uncomfortable as we are connecting with these dark places within ourselves, and it might feel scary. And if it's really so, you should look for help of professional, of a psychotherapist or yoga therapist who can guide you through this process, who can hold the space for you and check on your safety. But if you have enough self-awareness and enough inner resources, yoga can be great help to get rid of the past which sabotages you, the past which doesn't allow you to live in the present moment, the past which holds you from going for what you want in life, to live your life to the fullest. Yoga will help you to become more whole, more creative, more happy, and much, much more free. If you have any questions about what I have said, please write down in the comment. I will happily offer some more guidance. Have a lovely day. Namaste.